everyone! So I was having a few nostalgic minutes the other day. Please ignore the plates in the background as my mother is the loudest person ever in the world. It's also very hot in here, so I'm gonna crack open a window. So I was having a few nostalgic minutes the other day about secondary school and the great place it can be, but also the worst place it can sometimes be. So within the nostalgic minutes, I also had an embarrassing nostalgia. I think I'm using the word nostalgia right, I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna go with it. So I also was having this embarrassing nostalgia and things coming back to me that weren't so great in school, but also comical. This isn't gonna be a sad, down video. This is going to be a fun video where you can laugh at me while I laugh at myself internally about all those times back in school. So we're gonna take a journey to the past, back to 3 of the most embarrassing moments from my childhood. I'm very hot in here, so got my towel just in case I need to. So number 1, I was about 11 years old and I hadn't been in secondary school for long at this point. And my sister is about 3 years younger than me, so she was about 8 or just going on to 9, meaning she was a keen target for lice. Or nits, or whatever you want to call the creepy crawlies that like to infest on human hair. Sorry, that was disgusting. But as I live in the same house as her, as siblings usually do, I soon became keen target number 2. That was 2, wasn't it? It looked like 3 on the camera there. The unfortunate part about the story is that I realised a little too late. I'm pretty sure I just got all of the lyrics wrong, and that was completely irrelevant, but yay Jojo! So I've been going to the same barbers for about 6 months at this point, so in actuality I had only had about 3 haircuts by then, but still. I sit down on the chair and await my new fro. I do actually remember the barber playing around with my hair a little longer than usual, and then he asks me,
I'm sorry to ask this, but did you know that you had lice?
Bad American accent, and he wasn't American, but dramatic effect. So I'm just sitting there looking at myself and him in the mirror, and I shake my head and say,
"No, I did not know that I had lice, but I'm guessing as you suggested that I have lice, I probably do have lice."
And I'm sure it was a lot worse in my head than it actually was, but just picture that scene in Monsters Inc. We have a 2319! We have a 2319! Literally what I felt like at that point. So yeah, maybe not so embarrassing for you guys, but for me, not great. The worst part about that story were the other 2 additions in the barbers that were also having their hair cut, who were in all of my classes at school. Although I can't remember who you are, thank you for your lack of rumour spreading back in 2008. I really do appreciate it. Unfortunately for me, the next moment is slightly more embarrassing. So I was probably about 7 years old when I started attending Rhodes Theatre School, which was also attended by Jessie Nelson of Little Mix and Rylan Clark of X Factor and Big Brother's Bit on the Side, which makes this story a whole lot worse to tell. So the way Rhodes worked were there were 3 different class sectors per day and 3 different days, all based on age. So in the class that I was in, there were like 3 age groups from about 5 to 14, then one of the other days would be 15 to like 21, and so on. So I was in the youngest day and I was just in the middle group, and I'm pretty sure this all happened on my first day. So I'd enjoyed singing and acting, as my forte, but dancing was where things got bad. We had quite a scary dance teacher, and from what I can remember, she just used to shout a lot and drink a lot of Red Bull. And let's just remember that I'm 7 years old here, so I literally thought that Red Bull gave you wings. So I'm at the back of this dance class and the dance teachers noticed that I'm not the best dancer in this group. She shouted at me a few times. I can remember like really clearly that she had shouted at me a few times from the back of the room, and just in sheer panic, just like a deer in headlights, I peed myself everywhere. Not that a deer in headlights pees himself, but like they get scared and freeze. You know what I mean? Now this was 14 years ago, which is the only reason I feel that this is okay to publicise on the internet, because otherwise you'd not be hearing about it right now. But yeah, I just stood there and let the waves come rolling in, or rolling out, whatever the right way to put that is. I didn't even know that made sense at all. A really itchy ear. You can see me playing my ear. I don't know why it's itchy. Very hot in here. But the point is, I made a hell of an impression on my first day. Luckily for me, the most important person that was at this place, the owner, manager, sat me down and told me how things were. That you have to be tough, and that you can't let little things get to you. And when you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. Don't do it in the middle of the dance studio. Luckily that was like a one-day thing for me, because I actually went on to do some really good things with Rhodes, like Nickelodeon's The Crunch and a Harry Hill Boots commercial, so it was all good.
So one day when I'm rich and famous, I can tell everyone about my first step to stardom, peeing myself.
Or that could just kill my career in general. Just like that did just now. So the third and final story for today is not quite as embarrassing as the first 2. But it's ridiculous and hilarious and actually still quite embarrassing. So as a young, blossoming business student back in 2010, which is only 7 years ago, Should remember that. I had a lovely little hamster called Bo, and he was a Chinese dwarf hamster, and he was wonderful. We definitely had a love-hate relationship, and by that I mean that he was completely nocturnal, but you do what you gotta do. But one day I woke up to go to school and Bo was just dead. Like just dead. He was frozen. He was just like a block. He just didn't, well, not, he wasn't in a block, but you know what I mean. Like there was no pre-warning, no previous illness. He was completely healthy. I'm pretty sure that he was running on his wheel all night. And maybe he could have had a heart attack from over-exercising. Who knows? If he did, that means he died doing what he loved doing the most. Running on that stupid wheel that kept me up night after night after night. R.I.P. Bo. Anyway, so Bo died. I cried a lot. And I was quite a sensitive young child. The head up, shoulders back, tears absorbed, and I was ready to go back into school. Now I'm pretty sure it was my 4th class when we sat down to have a test. Business studies. And what was the case study? Of course. You honestly, you wouldn't be able to guess what this case study was because it's the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened to me. Go-Go hamsters pose potential health risks due to toxic chemical on top of product. How will this affect supply and demand of such a product? Yeah, I'm not joking. This was a case study all about hamsters. So instantly, tears at the ready, I start bawling my eyes out in the middle of this class. It was horrible. I remember just feeling like it was the end of the world. I know some people might just say it was a hamster, and I mean, even now I'd probably just say it was a hamster, but it's an animal. Like, I was attached to this animal. It was really sad. And then my business studies teacher was quite, not unaffectionate, that's definitely the wrong word. He didn't feel like any compassion for me, and I was like, my animal just died. What are you... Do you not understand? This is a big deal. Luckily, in the end, everyone was very supportive of me. R.I.P. Bo. The worst part is that they still made me do the test. Ridiculous, right? Though, you were great. I hope you're having a great time in hamster heaven. So they're 3 of the most embarrassing moments that I can recall. Lice, pee, and dead hamster. That's just a really good caption. That might be my caption for this. Even right now I'm thinking of more, but that's what sequels are for, right? Anyway, thank you for watching today, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. Do make sure to go and click that subscribe button, please do, as I have loads of exciting content coming up that I have planned for the world. I've also just reached over 100 subscribers, which is great, and I'm really happy with that. So if you're one of those people, thank you so much, and go and spread the word. Tell people to watch me, because I like making videos and I want to make them for more people. So that sounded really desperate, so apologies. Hit that like button, ignore that dislike button, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.